Hey everyone, it is Jack again with Toy Dojo, and today we are back taking a look at something very cool, something that I like a lot, and something that part of the piece is out, or one half I should say is out, and the other part should be coming out, I believe, first quarter of 2019, and that is from MMC, their version of Skylynx, which will be in two separate parts. First part here, which we're looking at straight ahead of us, is the MMC R-35 Magna from the Reformatted line. And that is the bottom portion of Skylynx. And he's already out. He's been out for a little while now. The top section, which is the space shuttle part, is not out. And that should be coming out, I believe, first quarter of 2019. So we're going to take a look at this. I have two of them here. This one's actually the final release right here. This one is the sample one that I got that came with this piece here. And this one is not the final release, but I think it's very close to it. We'll talk about why it is. And something they need to work on before releasing it, which I'm sure they're working on. So we'll take a look at that and, everything else with it. So strap on in. It'll be probably a little bit of a long review because I want to talk about a few things. I'll try and not keep it super long, but you know how I get sometimes. So starting here, first take a look at the box. And the box is cool. Another, how we get from MMC. Nice box with some good artwork on it. On the back. Shows him, and I forget what kind of a cat he is. I don't know if he's a puma. I really don't remember. If y'all remember what kind of a cat he is, let me know. But there he is, all dolled up, looking super cool. And that's the box. Nice box there. And then coming inside of the box, you're going to get one of these little baggies with this little clip here. This is used to pry open the battery compartments. You can stick the battery in here and then also inside here. So we'll show that off later. Also comes with this instruction, or bio card, I should say. We get these a lot with all of them. Comes with the instruction booklet, which also doubles as a comic book. So you get the instructions right here. It tells you what everything's coming with it, and then obviously the instructions. And the other side here says Icarus Part 1 Reformatted, and then it goes into a little comic right there. So that's really cool. And then he comes with an alternate head. On him, on this one here, the final one, it comes with a gold color head, which is the same color as this gold right here. But then, coming separate, is this piece here, which is a nice gold chrome one, which is really, really cool. So the sample one actually came with this chrome head put on, and this one came with the actual head coming on. But like I said, you get both of them with the final release, which is this one here. So, why do I have both of these pieces here? Well, I want to kind of talk about some of the things that companies go through whenever they're doing their figures, and then, even though this one was pretty much almost final, they did change some things up on it for the final release, and we'll kind of take a look at that. Minor things, but, things nonetheless. So, before we get into that, just kind of show him off here in his space shuttle mode on top of his kind of tank mode there. And it's connected, and it holds on really well. So I picked this up, and this sucker is pretty heavy. He's got a lot of die cast in it. But you can see when these two pieces connect, they hold on really well. He's able to hold it just fine. So there's that. He rolls really nicely with him. Like that. So super cool, super large. Let's take a look at, while we're here already, look at some size comparisons, just showing, again, how large this thing is. I'm going to bring in this guy just because he's not masterpiece scale, obviously. So we're going to bring in my Fans Toys Grinder to kind of show how big he is next to Grinder. Grinder's obviously a big figure, but just kind of shows him off there. Here he is with the Fans Toys Soar and or Swoop. You can kind of see how they look right there with each other. Obviously, Soar is a lot longer because of his wingspan, but you can kind of see how they look there. It's a pretty big mamma jamma. Bringing in the Combiner Wars version of him right there. And he makes him look super tiny. He was small anyways as it is. I felt like he should have been a leader size, not Voyager. But there he is with him. I think he looks better with the Times Return Dinobots. Even still, I think that's still maybe a little bit too big for that line. But just to kind of show what he looks like with them, since they would all kind of chill out together. Obviously in the cartoon, Grimlock could fit inside of him, so you know, I think if they were to make this masterpiece scale, this one, it'd have to be like 2 to 2.5 times the size of it, which this already, you know, is super big. So there he is with them. With the MMC Feral Rex, which I happen to have right here. There he is next to Rex. Let's put Rex back there. Let's bring this up some like that. There we go. There's Feral Rex. I'll fix this. There we go. And there he is next to Feral Rex. You can kind of see how he looks next to him. And he was always large. Once we get him transformed up, you'll see, you know, how large he is there. But yeah, that's a pretty good scale right there. And then if I wanted to go even further, I could bring in, which I will, because why not? I'm going to bring in the Hasbro version right there. Again, probably too large of a scale right there. But just kind of show you, again, just different figures and what it looks like. Right there. And let's pop him off. Okay, this slides off. Yeah, that way right there. Slides off. We're going to stick the shuttle to the side and just talk about these parts here again, just to kind of show some minor differences between the final release version and the version that we had right over here. So, final release is the one on the right, and the one on the left here was the one that I got with this one as a sample to review. This one's my copy I'm getting, or I got rather. So taking a look at it, the first thing you'll notice is this white here was changed out for the blue right here. This white here was changed out for this blue right here, which is better. I kind of like it more uniformed. Also, these colors here, you can see this is more like of a yellow mustard, and this one's more of the gold right here with the red. So that was swapped out. Underneath, again, this was changed out for this here blue. These are still the same. The big difference, though, between this piece here and then, let me untab this pot here. This piece here is that these were blue with white paint. Blue with white paint, which started chipping right there, you can see. And then obviously right here as well from the constant having to open and close it. So they changed that on the final release. They actually made that just white molded plastic right there and down here, which is good because if not, you'd have that paint chipping. So again, just some changes they did on the final release. Another thing they did on the final release was change up the color of, let me tab that back in, right there. Change up the color of the tracks. The wheels are red here, and over here they were black. So they changed that. They also changed the color of this red on the one here that I'm messing with, trying to put back together. The color is more of a darker red, kind of like a, I don't know, it looks like it has some maroon tones into it, but it's a real dark red, whereas this one's a lighter red. And you know, I actually prefer this one better, I think, the lighter red. So there was that. And then also inside here, you see, again, that same color down here, that mustard color, which is changed to that gold right there. And that's one of the reasons why I think that this one is close to being final, is because this gold here matches that gold right there. So it's not this one. So I think this is close to being final. We'll talk about what they have to fix on this whenever I get to him. Let's see. Oh, the head I was telling you about. So let's pop this head out. You can see there he looks with the gold head. And then over here, how he looks with the other head on him. Let's pop this guy out. Right there. So you can kind of see the two differences in the head right there. I'll zoom in there. So there you go. Like I said, with this one, you get the gold one as well as gold chrome. I like them both. I like this gold one, but obviously that's a fingerprint magnet. And this one's look cool too. So up here on the top, this little button, that's where, what did I do with it? That's where this thing comes into play. Let me open this up. I should have just left it out. Whatever. This little deal here, just take that, you would pop this open right here, and then not lose it. And then a battery would go in there. I don't have the battery that fits inside there, unfortunately. But you do that, and then underneath his mouth, or inside of his mouth, because not underneath it, but inside of his mouth, if I can get this thing to go back on, there's a button. Come on, man. There it goes. Okay, finally. Got that in. Sorry, that was stupider than I thought it was going to be, or more difficult. Anyways, whatever. So he's got some nice blue eyes right there. You can see that. And they will light up if you have a battery inside there. Inside of his mouth, he's got this little laser pistol, or whatever you want to call it. And right up in there, he's got that blue button. So you would push that when you have a battery in there, and it would give him his light up eyes features, which is cool. Like I said, I don't have that. So, all right, let's go ahead and we're gonna leave this guy in this mode here, and we're gonna transform him up right over here. Okay. So obviously you saw the way I did the head. Just lift this up, lift this out like this. Head tucks away inside here, so you just pop it out, close this down, close that back up, and this piece right here just stays like that. That way it kind of has a gap filler right there. Come up here, and this one already came undone, but what you do is you just kind of get these and just pull them apart. This sits inside a reset spot there, and then that one sits in a reset spot right there. So do the same thing on both sides, just undo it. And this guy has a lot of die cast on him. He's really heavy. He's got die cast in his feet right here, and just really heavy and just really done well. I'm a big fan of MMC stuff, and I just think that they knocked it out of the park with this guy. So, all right, let's do that, and then we'll start messing with the feet. We'll just rotate these with nice strong ratchets right there on the legs. You can hear that. It sounds really cool. Pull that one down this way. And then these, you just pop these off the way I did it earlier. Just pop one up. Pop it undone. Rotate this down. And there's two ways you can go about these feet here if you want. You can leave them like this if you want. That would slide down. And that will give them this toe right here, okay? But the instructions actually have it done this way. And then you put this back like that. Tilt this, or tuck that in. And then the feet would go like this. So, again, two options there. You can get the kind of two toes right here, or put the full right there with this part in the back. It's up to you. I'm going to flip this back around this way the way the instructions have it. And on one hand, it looks a little cleaner the other way because this will be cleaner and the wheels will be in the back. But that looks kind of cute. It's like he's sitting there waiting for some food, you know. Now let's do this too. Take these, pop them open like that. Pop that open like this. Pull these back. Slide that in. Put that around. Same thing here. Slide it in. Pull that around. Bring this back like this. And then we're going to get his tail out. So the tail, just grab these two spots right here. And I find you pull them out at the same time, it works better. Pull them all out, you'll know you got it out because there's 3 sections to the tail. Like so. Okay. Actually, I didn't. Did I do that right? Let's go that way. That goes that way, I think. There's a lot of posability options on this guy. So you can pose him any which way you want. But he's really cool. He's got a lot of posability. I think these actually sit the other way instead of like that. Let me look at this instruction book again, just because I just want to see the way. Actually, I'm going to look at the box. How they have them on the box. Yeah, sitting back right there. So I have it wrong. But that's the way they have the other feet, you know. So either way, it doesn't matter. These got to sit like this back here. That's what it is. All right. So here he is in his cat mode. Looking really cool. Lots of flexibility, a lot of posability on this guy. The head, it's got a side-to-side motion. He can look up, he can look all the way down. The mouth opens and closes. It's got some nice, sharp little pointy teeth right there. The arms themselves, I call them arms, but I guess they're his arms, yeah. They can go all the way out like this. These can go out even further like that. He's got all sorts of posability. Nice strong ratchet on these here. He's got obviously that articulation there. The feet themselves do forward and backwards. You got some ankle rockers as well on there. And then he's got a lot of posability here. This can come out. It can go and bend. Ab crunch there. Chest kind of crunch right there as well. So you can get this guy in so many different cool poses, which I'm not the guy that'll give you cool poses because I just don't, you know, I'm not cool that way. The tails themselves, again, you got them all. This things can go and move any which way you want. They can be out, they can be in, they can cross. You can braid them if you wanted to. All sorts of things. Pretty cool. So he's got a lot of posability and really, really flexible. So there he is right there. Okay. I am going to, I'm going to leave him like that, like I said. There's no differences aside from the small things that I pointed out, which I think make it better. Again, a lot of heft to him, a lot of posability, great plastic quality. If you guys have MMC stuff before, you know the kind of plastic they deal with, and so got a lot of good hard chunk here. To me, worth its weight in gold. So, all right, there's that piece there. Let's go ahead and we're gonna move him to the side and bring in this guy here. All right. So the one thing they're gonna have to fix on this one before they release it are these right here. Okay. Now this one I was able to get in. Right here you can kind of see it sits flush, and it sits in there, and it sits flush right here. This one I couldn't. Sometimes I couldn't even get this one. This one, just by luck, I happened to get it in. And I mess with this over and over again, but they don't sit in flush with each other. And I think the reason for that is inside here, when I open this piece up, you'll see this red bit right there. And so this red bit inside there is actually part of his neck that extends out right here when you pull this out. And so that sits in there, and it doesn't, to me, I think anyways, it doesn't give this enough room to kind of sit inside there. Now it did on this side, which is funny because earlier I couldn't get it in, and then as I was putting it back together, it actually went in, and I was like, oh, sweet. So I thought, well, I can get this one. As much as I tried to do it, I couldn't get that to go in kind of all the way and sit inside there. It was just going to sit a little bit out and then have that gap. So that's something they're going to have to fix, obviously, before the final release comes out. Aside from that, though, I mean, I think this thing is pretty much ready to go. I don't know that they'll add any more colors here or anything else. You got some spots that maybe they can add some color. I don't know that they will, though. I think, you know, Skylynx was always just white. And then this one isn't like pure white. This is kind of like an off-white. Kind of like a, I mean, same as this one over here. So that's what I'm saying. I think that's going to be the same color. It's the same color, but it's kind of an off-white, kind of like a grayish white color right there. But just really cool looking space shuttle. And that thing is huge, too. It's got some rudders right here on this, and underneath you can see it's pretty clean. You can see right here where these are going to be his feet and his legs, but aside from that, I mean, just an all-around clean looking space shuttle. It's got landing gear right here and right over here. These pull out right. Here's my right there. Open that up, get that one out right there. So landing gear. And he's able to sit just fine. Really, really cool looking. And I'm going to bring in one of my Seeker MP jets right here. It's my old Hasbro one Skywarp from back in the day. But you can see he is just about the size of a Seeker jet, if not just a little bit bigger. Nah, I'd say probably about the same size as Seeker jet in terms of like length. So if you have a Seeker jet that's an MP, you'll know just how long he is. And then as far as like width goes, I'd say probably about the same, if not. Let me see if I can get a better angle on this. Pick that up. Probably about the same as far as the wingspan goes as well that a Seeker jet has. The only thing is he's a lot more chunkier, you know, in a good way. So about the size of a Seeker jet is what you're getting with this guy. And again, just really cool looking. Nice gold here. These, I'm sure, are light ups inside here too, because he's got a spot in here that the battery can go inside. And these back here also do articulate. Now they're not on ball joints, even though they look they're on ball joints there, but they don't really like move. You spin them, and it gives them a different angle. So if you spin that, you get like more of a closed thrusters, and you got these small thrusters up here. Or you spin them back out, and they get them more shooting, I guess, out that way, like that. I guess that's it pretty much for this mode. So we're going to close these up. Now let's get him transformed up a little bit. Yeah. All right. So, I'm going to start with the tail. So back in the tail, you got this little door. You just pop this out. It sits right in there. That pushes in together like this, just like so. So you got to pull this out first. So it'll untab from right here on the top. So you do that like this. Then you come over here and grab this side and pick that up. That sits right there, it pegs in. Same thing over here, just pick it up. And then up here, you want to pull this piece back as well. Those two tabs go into that. And you pick this, actually open these up as well. There we go. That way that'll let this open up all the way. So that'll open up like this. Inside here is a whole tail. You want to grab the tail and start pulling it up. And that's going to bring this whole piece out just like this. All right. So now getting the tail back in, because it took me a minute to figure it out since I didn't have any instructions with this. Once you get this tail all opened up and stuff, when you're going to put him back inside, you want to make sure when you pull this in, this all collapses, and it's pretty self-explanatory when this all stuff collapses like this. The one thing is you got to make sure is right here, you got to get this piece and then use this, this little joint right here, or whatever you want to call it, and then rotate that down like, come on, like that. You saw that move there. It's out, and then you rotate it down right there. That way that'll go in and sit inside, because if not, you're not going to get it to sit right. Okay. So either way, pull that out, get this tail just unfolded all the way, and then right here, when you do this, kind of just give this a little bit of a pull back, so that way the tail makes some clearance on it through there, and then you can get the tail pulled all the way through. Shall I say? Tail, what are you doing, man? It's just, and there's just like, just a certain amount of clearance you gotta get through with that. What the heck? You can't pick this thing up because it's getting in the way there. Yeah, it's gotta go just like that. Kinda have to manipulate this. Oh, that's what it is. I forgot to pull this thing up. There you go. You got to pull that up. That's what happened. I left it back like it was transformed into space shuttle mode. So anyways, do that, and then you can pull this out like this. Okay. And get that door closed up. This piece is here to be a gap filler once this thing closes up. Okay. We can take these. If you wanted to, you can leave this like this, and then obviously close it back up, and then this will sit in, and you can have him. Well, we'll show it in a minute. All right, let's do that. I'm going to pull these feet out here. Just pull this down, and this may or may not be the way it transforms. Like, there may be different steps, but this is the way I do it, just because. Pull that foot out. Pull this foot out as well. And then coming up here to the top, you can just take all this up and close this back up like this. And like I said, this is going to be a gap filler right there. That's going to go right inside there. So you get this, making sure that this part is pushed all the way back right there. You want these to kind of go underneath that door right there. Okay, so grab that and then pick this up right here. Slide that down, hook it in. Same thing over here, pick this up, slide that down, hook it in. And then you got that all squared away, okay? And then you have his tail right here. All right, coming down here to the wings, you want to take these and you just pull them out from the sides, right there and right there. They're tabbed in. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4 tabs into those slots that are right there. And you want to rotate them around like this. Rotate this one around like this. Okay, and then over here you want to take these and you can pick this piece up because it's kind of tabbed in. Those little spots are tabbed in under little tab holes right there. Oops, right there. And then also you want to pull these parts out like this. Get more articulated room right there. That's on a slider right there. It slides out and then that swings open like this. So let's do that again. Let's pick this wing up. Pull it out and then rotate, or rather pull this piece out on that slider, and that allows us to come out. And then you have his wings just like that. Okay. And get these and just kind of fix these feet for right now. All right. Now he's getting really big. All right, so we got that part. Now we're going to work on the headpiece. So we're going to take this bottom piece right here and just get your fingernail, or if you have something else, you can just use to kind of pry it down. All the way down at the bottom. And that opens up like this. And then down here, this piece also has to open up as well. So you got to pull this piece up like that. That opens that piece up just like so. Here you can get these pieces here, and all this tabs in really well. You get these pieces here, open them up. Good thing I have my nails. I haven't cut them, but I need to cut them because they're disgustingly long. So grab this here. That'll go, and it'll pull out to the side right there. We can close these up again. And actually, you know what? No, we can't. I mean, it's not going to work that way the way I'm going to pull these open. I was thinking I could sit it in yet, but not yet. All right, so we're going to slide this piece out, just the whole neck. And this is the part I think is why that's going to not close all the way, but we'll see if I'm right or wrong. So just pull the neck out like this, okay? Now I'm going to see if I was right or wrong about that, because I should essentially, now that that's missing, if I'm right about it, now there's nothing in there getting in the way, you can see where it's hollow now. That should be able to sit in there just right. So let's see if I was right or wrong. Let's see here. Oh, no. Still not working. Huh. Let's see there. Alright, well, I guess I was wrong. I still can't get them in. So there's something going on here that's not allowing them to sit flush with each other. I thought it was because of the neck, but obviously I'm wrong because I can't get this to shut in just right. Like I said earlier, I was able to get this one, but I can't now. Anyways, alright, so they got to figure that mess out. So you get these, flip them over like this, flip this one over like this. And then down here on the bottom, you take this piece here, and this is just going to slide back like this. And you'll see there's two tabs right here, right there, and there's one on the other side. They're going to sit and go into that spot right there. So bring that down. That's going to go in, and it's going to peg in just like so. And this piece, you saw that, it kind of accordions back and sits onto it as well. And they will tab in, those little spots will tab into those right there. There we go. And then that gets that kind of tabbed away right there. Okay. Now over on this piece right here of the head, you're just going to take these pieces here and untab this and untab this. You tab into the top right there. Pick up the neck, and these will rotate, and this will rotate on the other side right here. They just kind of rotate to the side. And this piece will just kind of sit back, and now you got his head and his neck. And you just open up his jaw, and there he is. All transformed up. Just got to get his feet displayed just right. Oh, at the bottom of the feet, actually, I forgot to mention, he's got some toe spurs, or heel spurs. Toe spurs, that doesn't make any sense. Use this little tool they gave. See if that'll help me get this thing undone. Yeah. One there, one there. Pull that out, pull that out. And then it's just a matter of getting his feet however you want. Okay, there we go. All right. So that was a bit of a job, but he's just a large piece and everything kept getting in the way. So I got to back up some here and pick this up. So you can see just how big he is. I mean, he transforms out super, super large. His tail's in the way. But taking him now and looking at him with, let's say, the MP Jet again, right here, you can now see just how much larger he is than the Masterpiece Jet. I mean, holy cow. You know, it's a lot bigger. Everything obviously pulled out is a lot larger. So there he is next to him. I'm going to bring back in Soar just to kind of show that again, because we know Soar was a lot larger. So bringing in Soar, you can see now that even his wingspan is not quite as large as Soar's. Or Soar's are not quite as large as the MMC version is. I think, yeah, they're from the camera they look about the same, but they're not. Like the MMC here, Skylynx wingspan is a lot larger than Soar's. So that's really cool. It just kind of gives you an idea of just how wide that wingspan is. And I think I have a tape measure. Let me grab it and show you guys. All right, Soar's wingspan was 18¼ inches. His wingspan here is right at about 23½ inches long. So you can see he's a lot larger in wingspan than Soar is. And just, again, really, really cool looking. So the reason why I think this one's going to be more closer to final, like I said, besides the gold paint that they use here, but also this red here. You know, they went that same red that's on the final release of Magna than the previous one that I had over on this side here. So looking at this, he's got a lot of posability in him. Obviously the mouth opens and closes. He's got a gun inside here as well. And then right up in here is, let me use this little tool again, is what appears to be a battery compartment right inside there. There you go, it's better. You can see my finger come through the back right there. Right there, and you just push it on and off. So that's going to be the turn on and off feature there, and the battery will go inside there. All right, sweet. So we got that, and that's going to be pretty cool. I cannot wait till this guy comes out because he's going to be mine. All mine. Haha. And yours too. So but look at that. I mean, he just got super cool posability on him. Let's pull him down. He can sit up. He's got his whole neck. It moves. He's got moves at the base. Every single one of these here will give you some play in it. Okay, every single one of these here. The head also has got a lot of movement in it. You can look all the way around, up, down, all the way around. Teeth are really cool too. He's got sharp. I mean, they're not super sharp, but still you can see it look real jagged right there. Really cool looking. Really prehistoric looking, which is really, really cool. The tail as well. He's got a lot of movement in the tail. Moves up, down. All these again are just all articulated. The tail rotors still move there, but really cool. The wings themselves, you can actually get them and you can flap them if you want. They're on some nice clickety ratchets. These can also go in and out, like I said. These also have rotation in them. So you got plenty of articulation in this whole figure. I mean, it's just insane how much articulation this figure has. It's so super cool. Down here on the feet as well, you got, again, the toe spur. Or the heel spur. I keep saying toe spur. Heel spur that moves up and down. The toe does go up and down. These do rotate as well out. You can see right there at the wing, or at the kind of like the hip area, I guess. They can rotate out. This knee will come down. You can do all sorts of articulation things with it if you want to. Down here, they also got ankle tilts. So lots of, they didn't spare any expense on putting articulation into this guy. And that's really, really cool. You get, sometimes you get figures this large and there's not a whole lot of articulation into them, but this guy has a lot of articulation. Die cast that I can see, these here, the feet tips and the heel spurs are made out of die cast metal, and I think that's it as far as in this figure here, in this piece. Those are die cast. And actually, let me see, are these? No, those are not die cast. Maybe what I would like to see maybe is have them paint these blue, so that way they kind of match with the rest of it. I know this one up here, where's the other one? Right there is white. But I think it'd be okay for this one to be blue just to kind of match this. I don't know that they will do that or not, but I think that wouldn't be too much to ask. Or either paint them blue or maybe make this blue plastic. I think they can get away with painting it because you're not going to have a whole lot of rubbing onto that. So I wouldn't worry about paint chipping there. But just a lot of cool posability and flexibility. The issue, again, like I said, they just got to figure out this. What's wrong with this? Why it's not closing all the way? I think that's the only issue I see with this guy. Everything else is pretty solid. I don't feel like anything is going to break on it. I don't feel like he's cheap at all by any stretch. Speaking of stretch, he's stretching out my whole frame there. All right. Let's get him. We're going to put him just kind of back and sit him on top of this guy here to kind of complete that final look for him. So we're just going to take his feet. We're going to have to open this up right here. And pull this little door open. Open up these things here. Open that up. Open this one up. Right here. Right there. Pop open this guy. Pop open that guy. And just kind of get these feet. And we're going to pull them back in. Close these heel spurs down. I got it right that time. I didn't say toe spurs. Because I'm a Spurs fan and I think about go Spurs go, toe Spurs toe Spurs toe. No, that was dumb. Anyways, whatever, get that. Rotate these back up. Close that up. Rotate that one back up. Like that. These will sit right up inside there just like this. You can close this up. And what's really cool is they actually made these to kind of sit right inside those spots right there. That closes up there. Close that down. Bring this down. And that up. Bring this down. Right there. And then just kind of get this piece up here. Close that up. Right there. All right. And you can close these guys back up right here. Close that back up. Make it easier that way. Close this one back here. That one back there. Bring this up. Bring that up. All right. And then now we can take him and let's put him back onto this guy here. And you get out of the way. You're going to sit right there. And put your head back in. Flip you around. Close you up. Close you up. Right there. All right, and then again, this is where these come into place. You got this one here, and you got, actually this one's got to rotate. You got to pull this thing back up. This got to rotate, and this is going to sit, I believe, like this, yeah. All right, so then you got this one here, and that one there, that's got to slide in. I'll see if I can do this on camera. It's a little bit difficult. You get that, and you're basically sliding them into this slot here. So you're going to slide it into this one for the back one and slide it on this one, the front one. Let me see if I can get these on camera. If not, I'm going to do it off camera and then bring it back to you. But let me give it an attempt first. Let me give it a go. And there's a certain way you got to have this body configured too. I think that's the way it's got to be. Just kind of pushed in. This is higher, that same shape, which is this shape underneath there. And they should lock into place, or slide into place, I should say. Like, there it goes. Oh, I got it. I was gonna say it's not difficult to do, but being that I'm like behind the camera trying to do it, makes it a little more difficult. So okay, so there that is. This comes down. This just sits right here and right there. Just kind of tucks away right down in there. And there he is. You can tuck these tails back in if you want to. I'm going to leave them out, but obviously you stick them back in. All right, let's put them back in. Let's put them back in. Just because somebody's going to say, the tails don't belong out. So the tails go, spin that around. Okay. And get these pieces and stick them back in. There we go. Slide these guys back in. All the way, and those will just rotate down like that. Okay. So there he goes like that, and that again looks really cool. I just kind of adjusted him because he's so large that I had to make room for my camera. But you can see there just how cool he looks. I mean, he's really cool. He's really massive. Putting him together like this. Now putting him next to Feral Rex, who I'm going to bring in right here. Now that's probably a better scale because he was always huge when going up against Feral Rex, or Predaking, I should say. So that's probably a good scale right there. I remember him always going on to Predaking and being like, whoa. So that's a huge, I mean, it's ridiculous. I can't even get it all on camera here. But just kind of show the size. And quit knocking my Feral Rex over. Okay, this thing popped off, but whatever. You guys know where that goes. But just the sheer mass of this thing is huge. I mean, I got to pull this out, but look at that. Like, it's crazy how big this thing is. So that's a good scale, I believe. I promise you, if you get this guy, you're not going to be disappointed. Because especially if you're a fan of Skylynx. I mean, this guy is super awesome looking. And he's just fun to boot. Like I said, that holds in very well. Once you get that locked in, it holds in really well. It's not going to drop off. For as heavy as the bottom is, those tabs hold in really well. I don't know. I guess that's it. I think I covered everything with him. Like I said, I think this is pretty much close to final here. Not 100% sure, but the top looks like it's close to final there. And bring back in Grinder just to kind of show, now that they're combined, how it looks next to Grinder. Again, still too tall, obviously, but now you can see how much bigger he is now once he's connected. And he's taller than Grinder is. Let's get that looking right there. All right, Feral Rex, you just fell down, buddy. Whatever. So you can see right there next to Grinder. He's taller than Grinder is. Really cool. You guys let me know what you think in the comments below for this guy. I'm going to put a link in the description as well where you can order him from. You can order the bottom piece from Toy Dojo and then obviously pre-order the top piece from Toy Dojo as well. Also, if you like this video, please feel free to give it a thumbs up and share with your friends, family, you know, whoever. People that want to see cool toys, share it with them. Even if they don't want to see cool toys, share with them anyways. Okay? A lot of posability. I think he's a winner. Anyways, thanks again, you guys, for watching. And until next time, as always, stay safe.